Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Metropix webinar. We're going to look at free features that are available within your Metropix subscription. So these are all available for no charge and included within Metropix. Okay, we'll just change screens. We've got our own account that we use for training purposes and just want to run through a few of these bits and pieces with you. First, we'll touch on account preferences and settings. If, when you log into your account, you click the link at the top there, My Account, on the next screen, we'll see the option to change preferences about halfway down. Click on that, and then we've got a drop-down list. I just want to run through a few of these with you. First one we'll click on is fonts. We can change the font settings on our floor plans. You can see we can change the font type, we can change whether it's bold or not, whether we've got italics or not, whether the floor plans are all in capitals or whether we make the first letter of each word capital, various options. You can, as I say, you can come and revisit these options in your own time, but I can give you an example of one floor plan here, and this is one that we've done where I've just changed the fonts. If we zoom in a little bit, you'll see that the text is in upper and lower case, and it's all in italics as well. So that's one option that we've got. Going back to our drop-down list, we can look at floor plan appearance. So we'll choose that from the list, just the one above. Various options here. I had someone yesterday, we were drawing a floor plan, I sort of started with the entrance door at the bottom of the page, and she said, oh, is there a right or wrong way of doing it? Because I start from the top. And there isn't. Everyone's got their own way of drawing their floor plans, but it sometimes affects the layout. You sometimes find the front of the house lines up better than the back. So in my case, I would always have my floor plans laid side by side and aligned at the bottom of the page. This other lady would have them side by side and aligned at the top of the page. You may decide to have the system decide which way to fit them. It doesn't really matter. They could be sort of portrait or landscape. If you prefer your floor plan sort of one above the other in a portrait fashion, you can always choose that option. So you can choose from these options as to the way the floors are laid out. You can choose a disclaimer that you've got as well. By default, we put a full disclaimer on the floor plans just to protect everybody. But you've got a full option. There's a minimal disclaimer option. You can customize it. You could choose custom and type in your own disclaimer there, up to 500 characters, or you could choose none at all. You might decide that the floor planning companies are sales particulars and they carry the disclaimer. To give you some idea of how they look, I can just show you those very quickly. It's one of these documents, that one. And we'll just open this one up very quickly for you. You can see that's the full disclaimer. Whilst every attempt, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty watertight. And then we've got the minimal one just below. Measurements are approximate, not to scale, illustrative purposes only. So that's just 3 sort of quick bullet points. So you can choose what you want, the full one, the minimal one, put your own one in, or none at all. And you can choose how you position it on the page as well. By default, your floor plan will be set to the nearest 10 centimetres. So if you drew a floor plan in feet and inches, when the system does the metric conversion, it will round it up or down to the nearest 10 centimetres. I'm not a great fan of that, and I tend to set accounts when I'm speaking to people for the first time, and we agree it's best to go for the nearest 1 centimetre, but you can choose what you want to, but the default would be 10. And the measurements on the layout, pretty self-explanatory. We got used in foreign countries where it's metric only, but you can see. Scrolling down a bit further, window style, you can choose between a plain box and perhaps a window with a line through the centre. It looks sort of triple glazed. They look quite effective. And the opening style, again, by default, it's set to show a light dotted line wherever an opening is put on a wall, or you can choose no line. No line would be my preference. There are a couple of other options here that I'll draw your attention to that you may not be familiar with. We've kept them well hidden away. And these are shadow effects. We've got 2 sort of shadow effects that you can apply to your floor plan. There's 3D shadow and there's drop shadow. And I'll just give you an example of how they look as well. Let's look at 3D first of all. There's a floor plan with 3D shadow. And you can see we've put some shading against all the internal walls. Okay, so that's 3D shadow. And the other one we can look at is with drop shadow, and you can see this one, zoom in a bit further on this one, you can see it looks like the text's been lifted just a couple of millimeters above the page, and on small floor plans it looks really good. Sometimes on a really big floor plan it can look a bit busy and a bit blurred, but it's one of those things. It's a personal preference. Some people absolutely love these and other people aren't so keen, but if you like it, then that's where you'll find the option. My account, change preferences, floor plan appearance at the bottom of the list. Okay, so they're the options that you've got in your account. Let me just another option that we've got that you many people may well be familiar with, but some people may not be. It's PlanBank. Metropix has been trading for about 11 years now, and in that time, thousands of customers have drawn literally millions of floor plans. And so we've built up quite a repository of floor plans that are already on the system. So when you go to draw a new floor plan, so we click the link new floor plan and enter the property address there. I'll choose that one for the sake of speed. When you enter the address there, when you click next, it gives us the three options that we're familiar with: draw it yourself, or use auto draw, or this option, open the existing plan from the search results. And this is where it's done the search of our bank of plans. And you can see there, we've got 1 Northampton Road that matches the property we're looking for, drawn last year in September. And we would simply click on that link. You can see if that one wasn't there, you might decide number 7 is a similar layout. So we could use that one as a template. But all you do is put your mouse over the link, left click, and this will open up the floor plan in PlanMaker. While we've got this plan open, actually, I'll talk you through the plan complete process. Couple of things here that are of note. Most people are probably familiar with the plan complete process, but there's again a couple of things that are hidden away that you may not be aware of. So we've drawn our floor plan, we're happy with that. And the reason it opens up in PlanBank into the editing page, obviously an old plan may need updating and amending, so it opens it here so you can make the changes you need to. But we've checked it, we've drawn it, we're happy. We're now going to plan complete the floor plan. I'll talk you through. There's 2 screens. First screen just got the address at the top, just check that's correct. Public property description just means you want to put any text or wording onto the floor plan. 3 options. We've got no public description. I've never used it myself, but some people like to put the address on the floor plan so we can copy it from private. And what it does, it takes the address from the top, it removes the house number. We don't want the house number showing on our marketing, and or we can enter an address or some text manually. So it's any text or wording that you want to appear on the finished floor plan. We won't bother with one on this floor plan. The system can calculate the floor area of the property. So if I move this out of the way, it will look at what you've drawn on the graph paper, and it will give us a calculation of the floor area in both metric and in feet and in square feet. If you don't want the area, just don't show it. So if you've opened one from PlanBank perhaps and you're not confident the other agent's drawn it exactly right, or you're not sure you're confident you've drawn a floor plan to a good degree of accuracy, then don't show the area. But if you're happy, then show the estimated area. It's a very accurate calculation. Or you can even enter a figure manually in square meters or square feet. The other option is to add a direction arrow or a compass rose or a north arrow, whatever you want to call it. So if you're at the property and north was 8 o'clock, you could choose the dot there. If it was 1 o'clock, we'll just position it there. So just position wherever north is going to be, the little north arrow on the finished floor plan. One option that you may not be aware of, we touched in account preferences just now, the layout of the floors. And I said I'd line mine up at the bottom of the page and someone else would line them up at the top of the page. We've got an option under the advanced button here. Don't be afraid to click it. And it gives us these same account preferences. So this doesn't change your account preferences, but it will override them for this one plan. So if you sort of always aligned them at the bottom and you thought, well, this one actually, I want them portrait side by one above the other and perhaps aligned on the left hand side, you can choose a different setting. But there's another option here that we don't see anywhere else, and that's manual floor layout. Okay, so if we choose this one, it gives us a tile for each floor, okay, to the right size. And it just means we can move these floors around as we need to, align them up as you want to, so you can actually set them up yourself in portrait mode or landscape mode, okay? And sometimes you get an irregular shaped property, and I know I've had sort of dormer bungalows with a roof on the first floor, it doesn't really line up with the back or the front. So you can just position this tile. This would obviously be a bit smaller, and we could line that one up in the middle as well to line it all up properly. So that's something that you don't see anywhere else. So we'll just cancel that for now. So that's the first screen of the plan complete process. So we OK that screen. Second screen just gives a list of all the rooms that we've drawn in the order that we've drawn them. Now this one's already got some text because it's an amended a floor plan from before. But you can see we've got the lounge area. The measurement's 14'9", and next to the 14'9", you can see we've put text in there. This one's got maximum, and we've got 15'2" into bay. So we can put up to 13 characters of text after each measurement, just to qualify those measurements a bit more, so it makes it clear it's maximum and into bay. The other thing we can do is you can see we've got measurement arrows. We can drag these around by the little blue triangles. They don't appear automatically. It's just when you tick this box at the bottom, show measurement arrows on the final plan. So click, tick that box. Then you can drag these arrows around by the little blue triangles. So if we were measuring to exclude the bay, we would put it there, or measuring into the bay in this case, leave it there. And that's really just options that you may not be aware of during the plan complete process, and we'd send that to Metropix. I think we'll cancel this one. We don't need to keep that one for now, so we'll just come out of that one. Now, you can see I've got an example here, a floor plan that oh, hello. We'll go back a bit. We don't really want to look at that one yet. Let's just find an older sort of floor plan. This one will do. And we've got a floor plan here, and you can see, let's just download it and open it for you, and you'll see it a bit more clearly. We've got a floor plan here, and it's got the Metropix logo through the floor plan. Okay. And we can apply that to your account very easily, and I can show you how to do it as well. We're happy to do it for you if you'd prefer us to. Again, it's a preference. My account, change preferences, and from the drop-down list, we simply go to watermarks at the bottom. And all you would do would be to click the browse button, search your computer, find the file. Once you've found it, you click open, and it will the file destination will appear here. You click upload, and it will upload the watermark to your account. You can change the intensity, whether it's medium light or very light, or even the same unchanged. I wouldn't recommend that one, but medium light or very light, just to get so it looks right from your point of view, and then just save the changes. And every floor plan that you produce will have your watermark automatically applied. We've got color that we can add to floor plans as well, and we saw with this example here that we've applied color to a floor plan. And when the system applies color, it applies it by room type. You sometimes may wonder when you draw a floor plan why you have to choose a hallway type room or a reception type room or a storage type room, whatever it might be. And it's for this reason. When the system adds color, it applies the color by room type. So the hallway and the landing are both hallway type rooms, so they would be the same color. This cupboard under the stairs and the wardrobe, both storage type rooms, they're the same color. So that's how the system applies color. But as you probably saw with me inadvertently clicking on one a while ago, you can see we've got a floor plan here where we've changed the colours. And so we've set all the rooms to be white and the walls to be blue. And to do that one, again, go into our account preferences, my account, change preferences, and this time we'll choose colour floor plans from the list. Okay. Now, I will just quickly change these to default because we can show you how they work. But normally this is how your floor plan would appear in your account. So different hash codes. We work with hash codes rather than RGB. And if you need us to choose the right code for you, it's not a problem. Just email a copy of your logo to us, support@metropix.com, and we'll set it all up the codes correctly. We can match them up accurately. So these are the default colors, but you might decide you want white rooms and blue walls. So we can click on a palette next to that bedrooms, and we can choose white for white rooms. Okay, we can do the same. There's 8 categories of rooms at the top, all 8 down here. What you can do for speed is just press Control and C and copy it, and Control and V to paste it. So we can just quickly paste those colors down to those 8 room types. The top 8 are all different room types. And then we come to the walls. And so we'd want to change the walls to a blue color. So just choose a blue that you're happy with, something like that. And there we go. So it's chosen the hash code for those rooms. Simply save the changes, and all those colors have been set. So now when you upgrade the floor plan, let's upgrade this one. So if we click free upgrades, to show you how to do this quickly. It's a quick process. Click on the color floor plans box. Don't click learn more. That'll take you somewhere else. Whole box turns orange. Simply click next and then confirm your order on the next page. Click here to confirm your order. And that's it. It takes about 25-30 seconds for the upgrade to go through. So for the sake of this, we'll just wait for it to go through. So let's just click the refresh upgrade list option. Won't be much longer. One more click. And there we go. You can see color floor plan ready for your download. We click the view or download link, and they're the colors that we just set on the account. So white rooms, blue walls. We can set anything we want to. So what I would suggest you can do is if you email a copy of your company logo to us to support@metropix.com, say on the training video you saw the option to add colour to your floor plans, and ask for a branding consultation. It sounds a bit grand, but the guys in the team will know exactly what you mean. And what we'll do, we'll look at your logo, we'll extract the colours, and we'll come back to you with some examples, some with the logo applied, some with colour applied, perhaps both, and we can just choose your preference on that front, okay? I want to move on now to a different upgrade option. I love these. It's called Picture Plus. And To create a picture press upgrade, we simply click the view button, or we can click free upgrades on that screen and choose the free upgrades option. And we select the picture plus option from here. Let me just show you a couple of examples before we go any further. Here's one I'll just pull across. And this is how your Picture Plus upgrade looks, the finished version. So it gives us the floor plan. It breaks it down by floor. So we've now got the ground floor and the first floor separated, and other floors if they were drawn. But there's camera icons. And if we click on a particular icon, it brings up a photograph of that particular room. So I had sort of many years in estate agency and took the view you could almost sell a house with just a floor plan and photos, and this does the trick. And they're free. That's the beauty. Absolutely fantastic. And we've got another option here that I can pull across as well. It doesn't have to be on a large property. We've got a little two-bed, two up, two down property, and we can click on the kitchen diner. We've got the photo there of the lounge. If you change and go to the first floor, so we've got photographs for the bedroom 2, the bathroom, and bedroom 1. So they look really good. Okay, let's just move these out of the way. So let me just show you the Picture Plus upgrade process. We click Picture Plus and then we click Next. And we follow this process. And first of all, we browse our computer and we find the photos that we've got for the property. It starts off with 3. You can add as many as you want to. Just click Add each time you want to add a new photo. I think 6 or 8, for a large property, possibly 10 are the optimum sort of numbers. You can get too many at times, but just upload the best photographs of the property. Once you've added them all, just click the upload button. I've got a PDF I can show you that'll show this a bit more clearly. And if you want me to, we can send this to you. We can email it to you. If you email support@metropix.com and ask if we can email you the Picture Plus upgrade document, then we'll get this out to you. But it takes you through the step-by-step process. Step 1, we choose the free upgrades option. And then step 2, you can see we've chosen Picture Plus and we've clicked Next. Step 3, we're just choosing our photographs and uploading them all to the system, and they process for a while and upload. You can see at that point it's 11% that have uploaded, and carry on through the process. And once we've uploaded them all, we then get the option to allocate them. Okay, and it takes us through each photo one by one. So we'll start off with the external photograph, and we just choose. You can see on this option it will be an external photograph taken from side marked A, B, C, or D. So we've got A at the top, B at the side, C at the bottom, and D on the left. So if we stood at the front of the property, it would be from side C at the bottom. And you just carry on down the process. We then, once we've done the external photographs, we can apply the internal ones. And you can see there's a photograph of the lounge. It's an internal photograph taken on the ground floor. And it takes us to the ground floor. And we simply put our mouse in this lounge and left click. And that's where it sets the camera icon. And so it takes us through the whole process of upgrading our floor plans to Picture Plus. We can close that down now. The thing with Picture Plus is, as you've seen, the photographs move around. So it's not something that you can save as a JPEG image. It's not a fixed image. And so when we upload that photograph to our website or our sales particulars, rather than clicking the download option, we need to use this link above. Okay, http content.metropix.com and the reference number that matches the one at the top. And if we click that link, that's when we don't click the link, copy and paste that link into your website or your admin. If you go on things like Rightmove, I think they call them interactive floor plans. So you can just copy and paste the link in there, okay? But that's the link that you use to display interactive floor plans. If we click on that link will work for any floor plan. This one hasn't even got any upgrades, but what I will show you is something a little bit different as well. And we've got Space Planner. Now, not many people are aware of this, but what it does, it loads up our 2D floor plan. So there's our 2D floor plan that we've got. If we click on the Space Planner tab, it loads up the same floor plan. It removes the stairs, but what it gives us is a lot of furniture symbols that we can move around and place on the floor plan. This is something that you can offer your sellers if you're on a valuation, just something a little bit different. And so we've got our floor plan. As I say, the stairs have been removed, but we could perhaps say, look, I wonder where our sofa would fit in the lounge. So we can drag a sofa onto there. We can rotate it as we need to. We can size it a little bit if we want to as well. And we can just position it wherever it needs to be. And do the same with other symbols. Various categories of symbols. You can see all sorts of categories. But again, you can have a play around with this at your leisure. Okay, so we'll come out of that for a second. Yes, I want to leave the page. And there we go. And so that space planner, that comes with every floor plan. Okay. Um, Final thing I want to touch on today is Plan Studio. We've got a bolt-on program. Let me just go into this floor plan here. This will do. Actually, we'll choose a different example. Sorry to mess you about. Let's just go into this one. So we've got a floor plan here, and Plan Studio is like a bolt-on program that we can make changes to the floor plan. We can move things around. I'll show you what we can do. But as I say, it's a bolt-on program. It doesn't actually change the floor plan in your Metropix account. So if we opened it in Plan Studio and made changes, when we come back, those changes wouldn't be permanent. We save the changes separately to our computer. It's a bit like opening it in Paint or something. So we've got the option there above the floor plan, open in Plan Studio. So let's just open this one up. Once it's loaded up, the best bit of advice I can give you to start with is to change the resolution. Whenever you come in, get into the habit of increasing the resolution. The default is 900 pixels. It's quite an old system, and that would be quite a low resolution. If we were to zoom in on this floor plan too far, it'd get very pixelated and grainy. And I think the minimum resolution for any floor plan needs to be about 2,500 pixels. On a really big floor plan, you might go to 4 or 5, but I think if we change it to 3,000 pixels, that would be perfectly adequate. Okay, so change the resolution first of all. Let's just zoom out of the plan a little bit. Okay. What we can do, you can see if we look around the floor plan, as we move the mouse around, the different floors are highlighted red. And the disclaimer as well gets a red line around it, the compass as well. And so the first thing we can do is to move things around. So we might decide, you see this thin grey line coming down, that's the border of the image. So if we were to drag this compass in a little bit, we're making better use of the space so that the image has moved in a little bit. Okay, we might decide to move the floors around. So sometimes I've seen sort of big L-shaped barn conversions, and you get the first floor. So you have a big square here of the big L-shaped barn conversion. There's sort of small image on the right-hand side, and a lot of wasted space. So we could actually move one floor within the other floor. So if this was a floor, we could sort of move it within the other one, so to speak. So floors can be dragged to overlap as well. Not that I recommend you do that. But the other thing we can do would be to detach the text. So we might want to move the title around. And so if we click on this floor, we can detach the caption. Just click on that, and now that's separated that. On this floor, it's all together. This floor, it's now separated. So we could perhaps move that up to there a little bit. And perhaps this caption, you could, I don't know, you could move this if you wanted to, wherever you want to. You get the idea. We could even, some people don't like disclaimer when it's not always centered, so you could center that up if you want to. But you can see you can just move things around. So what you would do then would be to click on the File tab and save the whole image. Okay, and you would save, because we changed the resolution, it's going to be a good resolution image. The other thing you might want to do, some agents need to change each floor separately. Okay, so they would draw all floors on the Metropix account, and if we just left click on one floor, we can just click Save Floor, and we can choose where we're going to save it to. It could be our desktop or wherever, to give it a file name. The only thing with this, it defaults to a GIF file, so always remember to choose a JPEG. Okay, so give it a file name, choose it as a JPEG file, and then click Save as the destination folder on your computer. The final thing that we can do with Plan Studio that I really like, and it's the main reason I use it, is sometimes people aren't happy that the text doesn't sit in the middle of the room. We get a lot of calls about that, people saying, look, the seller's not too happy, can we straighten up the text? Yes, we can. And all we do is click on the Edit tab, and we choose the option to cut and paste text. So we click on this, and what we need to do now is to click and drag to draw a box around the text to cut. So we want to cut this text here. So all I do is put my mouse up to the top and to the left of that text, hold the left mouse button down and drag. And as I drag my mouse, holding the left mouse button down, I'm creating a box around that text. And once I've enclosed it, it doesn't matter whether it's sort of down here or close to it, as long as the whole text is in that box, release the mouse, it will now process, and that text is attached. On every other room, nothing's happened, but on bedroom 2, it now highlights, and so we can move that text perhaps to the center of the room. So we can center the text up very easily. We could also, which I quite like, sometimes if you've got a really big plan, the text can get quite small and difficult to read. And so if you want to increase the size of the text, move it to the left, and this little red box in the bottom right-hand corner, left click and hold and drag that, and we can increase the text as well. Okay, and then you just click File and save your whole plan, and save it to wherever you need to. So that's Plan Studio. So we can move floors around, we can move text and compass point roses around, we can detach text and increase the size of it or move it around as well. So it's a useful little tool. So just come out of Plan Studio. And as I say, it doesn't change the floor plan on your Metropix account. So that's it. They're the three options that you've got available with your Metropix subscription. We'll start questions and answers now. So if anyone's got any questions, please fire away.